This one's going to be a pretty hard one because I think we've all been there with this mentality,
Okay.
but how we respond to it's going to be on a person to person basis. But the question is, the universe seems to be in favor of everyone else but me. How do I get in on this universe love? Yeah, isn't that good?
Answer that question one more
Oh,
time.
it's so good. The universe seems to be in favor of everyone else but me. How do I get in on the universe love? And I think that is the best question we received so far, just because the simple fact that we all have that same thought. You know,
How come I never get a break?
exactly. It's like you see your
How come
coworker.
how come I'm never happy?
I see my family
Uh,
member, coworker, brother, sister, aunt.
mm-hmm.
Everybody is getting some love, but where's mine? You know.
Everything seems to be going for everybody, good for everybody but me.
Right. Right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our podcast where happiness is our pursuit and ultimate goal. Pops, how the heck are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fine, Raven. How you doing?
Good, good. Can't complain, man. You know, last time we had a question,
Good.
not only was it a good one, but it
Yeah,
left us both
exactly.
needing to ponder. You know, it left us both needing to
mm-hmm.
ponder for a bit. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it was the question: the universe seems to be showing everyone love, but me. How do I get in on that universal love? And my friend, I'm gonna let you answer that because I think you had the answer.
Okay, yeah, we did a little studying on that and a little thinking about it, and that was a serious question. As we discussed before, a lot of people feel that same way.
Right, right,
They feel like for some reason that things are just against them. Just don't seem to be an even playing field. What steps can I take or how can I get that to change? And as we discussed earlier, the whole reason for this podcast is try to bring happiness into people's lives on a daily basis.
right.
And no matter what the question or what the answer is, what our goal is to try to help people enjoy their lives, enjoy their time down on this planet. Okay, so diving right into it, seems like I don't get any breaks. I don't get any help. I don't get anything good happening to me. It's just always a struggle.
Right, right.
One reason we are unhappy, we have not made a good decision on who we are and what we like to do.
Mm-hmm.
In the previous podcast, we talked about drawing a vision board. And on that vision board, draw a circle. You put inside the circle the things that you like. In other words, you put some of the things that you wish would happen to you, basically. Outside of the circle, you put the things that you do not like. And then we all got good examples of that. For example, if you do not like to be disrespected, you put in the circle, I would like to have more respect from people. So you put inside the circle the thing that you like. If it's related to a spouse, you may want to say, I'd like for my spouse to communicate more with me. I'd like to spend more time with my spouse. It's just life has so many issues and so many parts to it. You put in that circle some of the things that are important to you, that you like. Okay, once you do that, you put outside the circle the things that you don't like. I don't like to be disrespected. I don't like my job because blah, blah, blah. And then you study those things, begin to see who you are and where you're at exactly at this moment. Let me just say this first of all, I forgot to mention something. When we talk about the universe, we picked about the universe before. And like the person said, the universe is always against me. Now, when in terms of what Raven and I are talking about, the universe, we're talking about the universal laws. That's what we're referring to when we say universe.
Right.
So in this particular case, the person said the universe always seems to be against them. So my suggestion is the same I had before. You put in that circle board what you like. You put outside the circle board things that you don't like. You concentrate on, you learn them, and then you concentrate on that will show you who you are. Once you do that, you can begin to observe what's going on. And what you will find out is that a lot of things that you do not like are what you're dealing with on a daily basis. You'll recognize that. Well, let's talk about one of the universal laws is the law of attraction. So you attract things to you based on the way you think. And the universe is neutral, so you can attract positive things just as quickly as you can attract negative things. For example, if you say, I want to, if by default, if you allow people to mistreat you and talk to you in any kind of way or say anything to you, well, the law of attraction says, okay, you like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you start attracting those kind of things to you. Now, that's not necessarily what you don't, but want, but by default, that's what you're attracting because you didn't set up any guidelines of what you want to attract.
Precisely.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But let's put it into perspective. This person is actually doing exactly what you're already teaching right there, right? And they're like,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, I'm doing that day to day," and
Mm-hmm.
it still doesn't seem to be happening. I would say that just because it's not happening at that moment doesn't mean it's going to happen. I think we're constantly in a society where we think a reward should be paid off instantly, right? Like, well, hey,
Exactly.
I've been waiting a week. I've waited 2 weeks. Where's my reward?
Right.
And it's like
Right.
sometimes that reward or that payoff from the universe doesn't come for years. And then when it does
Right.
come, it's like, oh, well, this was worth waiting for,
You're exactly right. Our existence is determined by the way we think, the way we act, and the way we feel.
Precisely.
Okay. That's what determines our. So when you see me, if you were to come to go out to dinner with me or come to my house and see me, what you see when you see me is the result of the way I think, the way I act, and the way I feel.
Precisely.
That's what you see. Even though you're not there to see the decisions that I'm making, you see in the outside results of it.
Right.
You see that my reality is determined by those things.
Right.
So what to your question, everything's not going to happen immediately.
Yes. Yes.
There's a process. The universe is very specific. It's very organized, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So to give you an example, what Raven was saying, let's just take weight for example.
Mm-hmm.
Say you're a smaller person, you gain 15 pounds of weight over the last few years. The moment you make up your mind you're gonna go on a diet, you're not gonna lose 15 pounds in 10 days.
Why not, man? It's supposed to happen. You already set the
Yeah,
mentality.
you made up your mind. I'm gonna lose weight.
Right.
I don't want to be overweight anymore. I'm gonna lose this weight immediately.
Yes.
So you start things and you go out and start things, try to jog, go to the gym or whatever, and you realize you get on the scale and you realize I'm only a quarter of a pound down. What happened?
You could take a week, right? Or let's say of a day. You took a 2 hour
Mm-hmm.
workout, you ate perfectly all day. In our
Right.
terms, in our reality, that is a lot of
Mm-hmm.
work. It really is.
Right.
And then for you to
Right.
get on the scale the next day and go, what? A quarter of a pound? It's very discouraging. But just like you said, the universe does not know time. It's
No, it
patient.
doesn't no time.
All the
Mm-hmm.
universe knows is results of what you put out there. And like you were saying
Mm-hmm.
earlier.
Yeah, and speaking of good that you brought that in because we talked about the law of attraction. There's another law that says the law of cause and effect,
Mm-hmm.
or basically the law of consequences
Mm-hmm.
that we have to live with.
Right.
So using that example, if I'm 15 pounds overweight and it took me maybe I might have gained it over 3 or 4 years, I cannot realistically expect to lose that in a week.
Right.
Now, unfortunately, we have these Hollywood things and these commercials that say, I lost 45 pounds in 45 days
Right.
using this kind of miracle drug or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But if you watch the end of that commercial, it will show you all these consequences that you're dealing with. It may
Yes.
cause cancer, heart attack, this and that, and
Yes.
this and that. So you might be able to drop the weight quickly,
Right.
but it's not healthy.
There's always a cause and effect, positive or
There's
negative.
there's gonna be some consequences to that.
Mm-hmm.
So realistically speaking, using law of cause and effect, if you want to drop that weight, that 15 pounds, and be healthy, you need to drop it just the way you got it.
Right.
And before you realize that, hey, I'm 5 pounds down.
Mm-hmm.
That feels good. But you've
Mm-hmm.
done the work.
Exactly.
You didn't
Exactly.
do what this thing in Hollywood, this Ozempa or whatever this stuff is.
Yeah. Yeah.
You didn't go and grab that and try to do 30 pounds in 30 minutes.
Right. Right. And that brings
you
up the
know,
point of I think a lot of people, me included, put a time frame on everything. It's just because that's
mm-hmm.
just what we do. I want to get out of debt. I got to get out of debt in 6 months. I want to lose weight.
Right.
I got to lose weight in 3 months. It's like, what is the time frame that? Why are you putting a time frame on yourself when
Mm-hmm.
the end result is the same? You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we become unrealistic,
There you go. There you go.
and we become immature.
Absolutely.
I took these credit cards and I've been charging up this stuff for 2 years. Some of the stuff I didn't really even need, and now my credit card is up to $6,000.
Right.
I'd like to pay that off. Well, guess what? That's gonna be work
Yep.
because not
Yep.
only not only are you paying off what you charge, but you're paying off the interest.
Exactly. Exactly.
So when you pay a certain amount of, well, I can get this done in 6 months. No, no, it's gonna take some time.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna take some time. It's gonna take some discipline, and also it's gonna take some change of habits. The same time you're trying to pay that credit card off, you can't be running up to Macy's
Yeah. Exactly.
with that
Exactly.
same credit card
But wait,
and
sir.
getting stuff.
There's a 20% sale. It's not going to happen again,
Right,
sir. You know,
right, right,
we all have those. We all have the reasonings, but we got to be the ones that dial ourselves back. you know.
right, right. So using that example, it takes discipline. It takes a dedication. It takes somewhat of a plan. You say, I'm not going to use that credit card.
Right.
I'm going to pay X amount of dollars a month. You come up with a plan
Right.
and you stick to it. And if you stick to the plan and if you stay away from the credit card, eventually you'll be that credit card will be out of debt.
Oh, absolutely.
But going back to our original thing, why the universe against me? Well, if you are not happy with yourself, okay, if you have not made decisions on the things that make you happy. First of all, if you've not taken the time to learn what makes you happy,
Right.
that's the first problem. Because you're just running around at the whim of the universe or
True.
at the whim of people.
True.
In other words, if you don't set any restrictions or guidelines for yourself, then you don't have anywhere to go. Let's talk about money for example. I think I'm worth. Let's just say we're gonna use an unrealistic number here. I think I'm worth $5,000 a year. Okay,
Hmm.
and you make $2,000 a year. You say I'm worth $5,000 a year, but you go in, you're making $2,000 a year. You just accept that,
Right.
and unless you make some decisions in your mind, guess what? You're gonna be making $2,000 a year for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to make some decisions. Say, okay, I'm worth $5,000 a year. I need more money. Let me start making some decisions on how I can get more money.
Right.
And there's only one or two ways to get more money. One is to do a better job and you get an increase. or you got to find another position.
Exactly. And both
Either
those,
way, you've got to do. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, both those decisions need to end with which one will make me happy, not which one will
Which
give
one
me
make
more
me
money.
happy? And that's the first. That's the first thing, because first thing before you even talk about the $5,000, you need to know why you need $5,000.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't need. You don't just. We talked about this previously. You don't start with the money. Say $5,000 make me happy. No, that's not the case. In the case of $5,000, you may have looked at your bills and say, "My bills are $4,500.
Right.
I need $5,000 just to survive."
Mm-hmm.
Then that's realistic. That's realistic. But for the most part, when we're dealing with happiness, you look at you think about the things that make you feel good.
Right. Right.
We talked about this before. I like freedom. I like to be treated right. I like to be respected.
Mm-hmm.
I like to be around coworkers who seem to have something in common with me. I don't want to be around a manager that tries to micromanage me or mistreat me. Those are the things that you're looking for as far as the job is concerned. That makes sense?
It does for sure.
Now, going back to the person's question about the universe is against me, what you call against you is just a universal law working the way it's supposed to. The law of attraction is just going to attract the things that you are putting out.
Mm-hmm.
So you say, if I'm unhappy with this, you said, well, have you decided what makes you happy?
Right.
Have you put an effort into trying to get something that makes you happy?
Mm-hmm.
Have you put up any boundaries to say, I'm no longer gonna be treated like that?
I agree.
And since you had, if you have, the law of attraction is going to work in a positive way for you. If you have not, the law of attraction is going to work in the way that you consider negative, because you're attracting the things that you're putting out.
And just what you just said right there, the way you consider negative, that was brilliantly
Yeah.
said. Because if you don't
Yeah.
mind, I'd like to touch on something you talked about earlier.
Sure.
Was sometimes the universe does seem to be not showing you love, but if you take a step back and look around you at how it's treating other people, you may find that some people are not getting the universal love that they say they are, which makes you feel less like you're getting it, right? Example, I go over to a friend's house, and every day this friend, when I talk to them on the phone, they're laughing, they're cracking up, "Hey, have a good one, I'll talk to you tomorrow." You look on their social media of choice, they're at restaurants, they're on vacations, smiling. And then you go over to their
Right.
house, and they're literally sitting on the couch flipping the TV with no emotion in their face. And you're like, wait a second, what's going on? This is not who I see or hear
Right.
in
Right.
on the outside world. And you sit there and go, okay, well, if that's how they're appearing on the outside, when they're in their own reality, what's really going on? This person can be going through a whole lot, but masking it. Unfortunately, a lot of people mask their successes or their happiness in a way that almost makes you feel like, well, I guess I'm not happy. When in reality, you are the one that's happy. You're just comparing your happiness to somebody's facade.
Well, that's perfectly said. Uh, we live in a society of actors.
Brilliant. Exactly right.
We
Exactly
live in a
right.
society of actors. A lot of people can get an Academy Award
Yeah,
for what they put on when they out.
that's so true,
They
man.
smiling, they happy. This is great. This is great.
Right.
Their conversation is saying this, but the thing is, you don't see them when they leave.
Yes, exactly right.
You don't see the real them when they get in a car and that depression jumps on them
Bingo.
and they going home, or they going home with their wife and their spouse can't stand it because they got a bad attitude. They
Right.
unhappy. They never have anything positive to say.
Right.
You know, it's easy to be an actor for a certain amount of time
Hmm.
during the day.
Right.
But the reality is, who are you 24/7?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah. For sure.
Who are you? Who are you? Who are you when the camera turned off? Who are you when you leave work or you leave your friends and
Hmm.
it's just you?
Hmm. Yeah.
Who are you when when you're in an automobile going to a place and you turn the radio off?
Yeah.
Who are you and what do you feel like?
I think that's what the bonus of these people that are listening to this podcast is. They're already in the right step of going, I'm not sure what I'm being shown out there is the true reality of how to be happy. And they're questioning that, which
Right,
I think that's the perfect step, you know?
right, right. So the first, and that's one of the things of understanding. You have to realize you can't compare yourself against people, with
Mm
other people, because you really don't know who they are.
hmm. Mm hmm. Agreed.
People will tell you anything,
Agreed.
especially if you go out and don't go out to dinner or lunch with them or whatever. Oh man, it's on.
Yeah.
The acting's on. I bought this big screen TV and I'm going to do this, and we're looking at this type of car or whatever. They talking about all those things,
Right.
and so everything seems perfect, but you don't realize that they're under so much financial stress to try to pay for that stuff.
Right. Right.
They're not telling you that.
Right.
The universe is showing everybody but love but me.
Mm
Well, we talked about the universe is just universal laws. And the law of attraction is what we talk about here. And the law of cause and effect.
hmm. Yep.
The universe is handing you back what you're attracting.
Mm hmm.
So you need to think about, what am I attracting towards myself?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What am I attracting? Because if the universe is handing me misery, what intention do I have when I get up in the morning?
Exactly.
Do I have an intention to feel good about myself? Do I have an intention to have a good day? Do I have any kind of intention to slow my mind down with all this worrying and concerning and going back in the past or going to the future? Do I really have any intentions or making any steps to attract anything good in my life? Am I really making a step for that, or am I just in such a hurry living that I'm only getting a default?
Right. Right.
Because if you're in a hurry living, if you don't make a roadmap for yourself, if you don't make a goals for yourself, if you don't have any desires for yourself, you get to default.
Yeah.
And that's just the law of attraction. The law of attraction is working. And say you're not getting anything happy, the universe will say, you didn't tell me you wanted anything good.
Mm hmm.
You didn't say that you want to feel good about yourself today.
Yeah.
You didn't make any effort to smile today. You didn't say, I want to attract joy,
Right.
peace, happiness, calmness, normality
Right.
of life. You didn't make any plans. You didn't say anything. You didn't ask for any of that. You just got up, put on your clothes, got your cup of coffee, and took off. And in the car, you have not made any plans. You just driving down the freeway like the rest of the drones,
Right.
trying to get to work on time.
Right.
And then when you get there, you just start your work and start doing what you're supposed to. So whatever comes to you is what you get.
Yeah. I completely agree.
That makes sense? Because you don't have a plan for your life.
Right.
You don't have a plan for happiness. You don't have a plan for joy. You don't have a plan for having a better existence. You're not making any energy or effort to change who you are to from darkness to light.
Right.
So since you don't have a plan, you get to default. You get to default.
Yep. This is what
You said the
everybody
universe
gets.
is against me because I'm never happy.
Yeah.
Well, did you ever think about being happy?
Hmm.
Did you ever ask the universe to be happy? Did you ever ask you? Do you ever sit down with yourself and say, "What makes me happy?"
Hmm.
You may be associated with the person that makes you most miserable on the planet, and you think you're going to be happy.
Yep. They're robbing you of your happiness.
They rob you of your happiness, but since you have not made a decision to be happy, you not recognize that this person is robbing your happiness. You go there every day and spend time with them, and you say, "I feel like crap.
Exactly.
I don't feel
Exactly.
happy." The universe says, "Well, you just stand back and say, well, apparently that's what you want. You keep
Hmm.
doing the same thing every day.
Hmm.
You keep attracting that person or those type of people. So you have to make a decision that I want to do something different."
Right.
That makes sense?
Yeah. And if you're
Um,
already on that pursuit and you're already in that direction, it's just patience. It's just time and patience, unfortunately.
it's it's time, patience, and knowledge.
Right.
Because if you have made a decision, first of all, I think that for me, the reason I was miserable for so many years because I was trying to figure out what is this place? Where am I at?
Hmm.
You know, I don't like this place. And the more I looked around, the more I found out I didn't like it. But then I had to start looking for other things, start realizing what do I need to learn to change my life
Right.
to the better.
Yeah.
Because apparently I don't know what it is because I'm miserable every day.
Yeah. Absolutely. And there's
So
everybody has their own prison of why
yeah,
they're not happy, you know?
yeah, because in my case, I didn't know what I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you have the right to decide how you want to feel.
Yes. Exactly.
I did not understand you had a right to change who you are.
Right.
I didn't understand I had the power to change my life and make it better.
How
I
ironic that you
had the
said I
power.
have the power, and
Yeah.
there's a fictional character that says that very thing, and he's actually the master of the universe.
Hmm.
You
Okay.
know, in the ironic where He-Man, who's the master of the universe, straight up
Hmm.
says, "I have the power." And tell me
Hmm.
that's not no kind of coincidence when it comes to a fictional character.
Right. And now, and what I'm saying to what Raven and I heard for say, we all the same. We all
Right.
human beings.
Exactly.
There's nothing that I can do that you can't do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's nothing that you can do that I can't do.
Agreed.
He man, if he's talking about some natural facts, then you can become he man
Mm-hmm.
if it's a true statement that he's making.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the very reason why that character was created. It's a fictional
Hmm.
representation of your own power, literally.
Right.
You know.
So I didn't quite know we was going to go this way today, but let's go ahead and talk about our power
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and our universal power and our universal thing that we have in the universe. We have the power to change our lives.
Bingo.
We have the power to be happy, enjoy our lives, and enjoy the fruits of the consequences of the decisions that we make
Yes.
based on the way we think, the way we act, and the way we feel.
Agreed. Agreed.
Now, that's the easy part to say it.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Papa Raven, listen here.
Yeah,
I've been
yeah,
doing that
that's
for
the easy part.
years.
Yeah, that's the easy part of saying it.
Mm,
The hard part is how do I get there?
bingo.
And that's what Raven and I are trying to help, trying to share with people that's listening to this is we understand that we all got to start where we at.
Yeah.
When I started doing this, I say this. I didn't start at zero. I started at negative 50 because I had to develop so many habits
Yeah.
and so many thoughts that put me underground, so to speak.
Right.
In other words, I wasn't even neutral. I was really a negative person.
Yep. And I
So
think
when I
that's why your
started, I was.
journey. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I think that's why your journey and your words that you're speaking on this podcast are so influential. It's like it's not. I'm not. It's like I'm not listening to a chemistry teacher tell me about chemistry, but they just learned chemistry a week ago.
Right. He
I'm
just got out of college.
right. I'm listening to a chemistry teacher that was around during Albert Einstein. It's like not to. I ain't saying you that old, but but you know what I'm saying. You have that experience of that. Which one am I going to listen
Mhm.
to?
Right. 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 Um, so. So basically, going to the things. What I was trying to say is,
Hmm.
I understand. I can help and I can share with you some because I understand.
Right.
I was because of my life and the experiences that I had and the things that I had, decisions I had made, the lack of understanding, lack of knowledge, lack of I didn't know what I didn't know.
Right.
I started at negative 50.
Right.
So where everybody else may be starting at zero to they want to go from zero to 100 for happiness. I started at negative 50.
Hmm.
I was like a groundhog underground. Couldn't see anything.
Right.
Dark, uh, lonely, discouraged.
Yeah.
So as I started learning, I started coming up. Negative 50, negative 40,
Hmm.
negative 30. Now we talking about time here.
Right.
Like I said, this is not a 25-minute sitcom where it was solved in 23 minutes. You know, they have a tragedy at the beginning of the show, and miraculously, 23 minutes is all solved
Right.
by the time it go off.
Right. Right.
My life didn't work like
Yeah.
that.
Literally, you can say that 23 minutes could equivalent could be the same as 23 years in
I mean,
reality.
23 years, you're
Right.
right.
In reality, it's like, oh.
So, yeah, and it wasn't a time frame on it.
Hmm.
I didn't know what kind of time I was dealing with. I just knew that I don't like where I'm at.
Precisely.
I do not like the universe that I live in.
Precisely.
I do not like when I get up in the morning, I don't like the way I feel. I don't like what I see from the inside of me. And so, anyway, going back to what I was saying, I started at negative 50. So, when I got to zero, people might have said, oh boy, you just begin. I celebrated
Yeah. Exactly.
because my head popped up on the ground. I said, oh, I see light. Ooh,
Hmm.
have mercy.
Right. Right.
You mean there's light and air up here?
Yeah. Well, people think that because let's say you're, like you said, you're at negative 50. When you went to negative
Right.
40, that's a positive. That was a
That's a
positive. It's like some people, oh, you're still negative 40. Yeah, but you just went
Mhm.
up. You didn't go down to a negative 60,
Yeah, I got to look at where I started.
And bingo, that's exactly what I was about to say. You have to look at
Yeah,
where
I got
you started,
where I
right?
started. I can't compare myself to The Rock, anybody else.
Right, right, right. I
I
mean,
got to compare myself to where I started. So, like
hmm
you were saying, once I got to negative 40, even though I was still in trouble,
hmm
I got to celebrate some.
yeah, yeah. you achieve something,
Yeah.
and it's those
You know,
little
I'm better
steps
off
that
than
you
I
have to
was
achieve.
yesterday.
Bingo.
Hmm.
Exactly.
I'm better than I was yesterday. And
Hmm.
also saying this, not only was I better off, but it gave me a little more encouragement
Yep.
to keep going.
Yep.
Because if I can get -50 to -40, I think I can get to -30.
No, exactly. Then it's just momentum.
Hmm.
It's absolute
Just
momentum.
momentum.
And then the universe goes, here we go. Get ready for my
Hmm.
push. Because now I see where you're
Right.
going. It's time for me to help you go along that direction.
Then you get that what we were talking about frequency. You get that alignment
Hmm.
and that routine, so to speak, where things begin to help you.
Hmm.
Things begin to get easier.
And that's the universal love, man. That's where the
Then the
universe is
universe,
showing their love. You know.
because then the universe say, okay, now you are giving me something positive
Hmm.
that I can work with you in your life.
Bingo.
So
Bingo.
all of a sudden, your law of attraction now, instead of attracting trouble, you're attracting peace.
Right. Right.
And instead of attracting worry, you're attracting calmness.
Right. Because everybody's
Does that make
universal
sense?
love will be what they need in order to have
What they need
happiness.
and what they need and what they concentrate on.
Exactly.
Because here's the thing, this thing is a lot about knowledge, learning.
Hmm.
So what the things that another person might be attracting that's causing them problems may not be what I'm attracting to cause me problems.
Right.
But at the same time, that law of attraction is still working.
I have that mindset
Makes
of
sense?
sympathy and empathy to where
Uh
I
huh.
don't, if I have a friend that's going through something, I
Mm-hmm.
will
Mm-hmm.
absolutely put them in my thoughts for it to turn around for
Mm-hmm.
them, right? But I
Right.
don't put myself in that position to get consumed by what they're doing because that's not my walk. That's not my universe. And if I
No,
do
that's not your
consume it,
burden.
yeah. So if I consume
Yeah.
myself with their issue, I just derailed my own universal walk to where,
You're right.
well, maybe the universe thinks that I want to help them. Time to put you in their shoes, and that's not what you need.
Right. Let's get you brought up there. There's a difference between empathy and taking on somebody else's problems.
Right.
In other words, you have say a relative that's, has got a drug problem. Okay.
Hmm.
You have empathy for them, and you say, I hope they get past the drug problem. You put your universal thought out there is, or you prayer if you want to call it that.
Right.
Say, I wish the best for them, and I hope that they turn out okay because I care about them.
Right.
But at the same time, you're not driving by their house at 10 o'clock to see if their car's in the driveway.
Right. Right.
Let me see if he's out doing the drugs tonight.
People don't realize the
And you
power
got,
behind those positive thoughts towards that person either. That's not something
exactly.
that when you're putting a positive, when you're uplifting somebody in your thoughts, that's just not a thing that you're doing to be kind. You are
No.
literally putting that person into a better swing for the universe.
You're raising the frequency.
There you go. There you go.
You're raising that person's frequency. We talked about this in one episode. When you think about somebody or something like that, a lot of times they can feel it. They don't know why.
Right.
Like you were talking about I was talking about the relatives that called me while I was calling them.
Hmm.
We were both on the same frequency, thinking about each other.
Right. Right.
So our thoughts are important.
Very much so.
Our thoughts have power.
Very much so.
Now, I don't know how much time we got left. Did you do the timer on it? See where we're at?
Yeah, I was actually going to say, because you've already touched on the answer pretty well, but I was going to do one final, what I got out of it. The
Okay.
universal love. There's two
Okay.
aspects of it, right? There's the people that are saying the universe is not showing me the love. How do I get in on it? There's a where you're keeping yourself from getting the love because you're not letting the universe know what you want. And by simply sitting down and saying, what makes me happy and what keeps me from being happy, the universe will finally get with you and absolutely show you the love that you're wanting.
Let me comment on that right quick. Showing you the love, right? Universe is with you. One thing I haven't mentioned is, are you showing yourself any love?
Yeah, bingo.
Are you respecting yourself?
Yeah.
Are you saying do you get up and say, I love myself?
Yeah.
I'm a good person. I'm a positive person. I deserve good things. Are you changing the way you think about yourself? That catch you off guard there?
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Because that's exactly
Yeah,
what
are
it
you
is.
changing the way you think about yourself? Because when you change the way you think about yourself, when you say, I'm a good person, I'm a kind person, I love myself, I deserve good things, I deserve to be treated a certain way, I deserve respect, I deserve to be happy, I deserve to sleep at night, I deserve to be rested, I deserve to enjoy my day.
Right.
When you start making those characteristics for yourself and embedding those in your mind, guess what? Those become the attraction that you're going to get because that's what you're starting to put out. Okay, go ahead.
And then there's the B person who's already on the path that you've been talking about this entire podcast. They're there, but they're going, what is going on? I'm doing this. I've been doing this for, let's say, weeks, months, years. Unfortunately, we can't tell you when that universe is going to reward you, but it will happen. And when it does, it's almost going to be this euphoric laughter, joy that just overwhelms you because you're literally going to want to scream out, this is it, you know? And we can't tell you when that's going to happen. Well, we can't tell you, you keep pursuing what you're pursuing, the universe will meet you, you know?
The universe will always come through.
Exactly.
Now, I will say this, and I learned this myself. When I was learning about the universe or what is real truth is what I was looking for. I said, I want to test this thing to see if it's true. So one of the things that I did is I took one thing and tested it.
Right.
I did not try to throw 100 things in there.
Right.
That makes sense?
Well, because if you do
I did
that,
not try.
yeah, go ahead.
I did not try to test 100 things at one time.
Right.
I said, I'm going to test one thing that the universe says is true and see if it works for me.
Right.
Because I said, if the universe says one thing is true, if the universe says 1,000 things is true, but it won't do one, I'm wasting my time. So I took one thing and said, I'm going to test this one thing.
Yep.
And I applied I learned information, what it takes. I applied what it takes. I started practicing what it takes. And that thing moved from outside of the circle to in the circle of what I wanted.
Right. We're a very physical being. That's why we live in a physical world, right? If I take a tennis ball, throw it at a wall, and it comes back to me, I can catch it. I know exactly what it took to catch it. Give me a bucket of tennis balls, throw them all at the wall. I'm not gonna. I can't tell you which ones got past me. You know, if you were to come to me,
you may not catch any of them.
Yeah, and if you were to come to me and be like, how many of those went past you? I don't know. You know.
But that's a good example that you said. If you take one, okay, And I love that example that you used there.
Mm-hmm.
You just take one out of the bucket, right? Out of the
Mm-hmm.
basket, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you start throwing it, okay?
Right.
First time you miss it,
Right.
okay? Because I threw it too hard.
Yes. Yes.
So I threw it too hard. And then the next time you miss it, you say, I threw it too high.
Yep.
And the next time you miss it, you say, I threw it too low.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally you realize you find that sweet spot. You throw it and you catch it. You throw it and you catch it. You throw it. Hey, I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Man, once I get used to what I'm doing, this is easy.
Right.
So you do that, and now all of a sudden you got the rhythm of that throwing and catching that. And after you do that a few days, you can do it in your sleep.
Yeah. Exactly. And that it
And when
becomes
people come
law.
in and say, you know, it becomes law.
Mm-hmm.
But using your example, you try to throw you have somebody throw the whole basket,
Right.
or have some machine to shoot 15 of them out.
Mm-hmm.
You may not catch any of them.
Right.
And
Right.
if you catch one, you don't know how you caught it. Oh, that was lucky. I was
Yeah.
lucky. I caught one. I
Yeah.
was lucky.
You're like, okay, let's do that again, and you don't catch none, and you're discouraged.
You don't
You
catch
know.
none, right? Because you're distracted. You're trying to run after 15 tennis balls
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
when you should be concentrating on one first.
Mm-hmm. I think I like the
Mm-hmm.
theme of us addressing a question and then actually spinning
Mm-hmm.
the podcast to talk about it, because there's so many
Right.
broad, we can give so many examples. I don't want to rush through anybody's
Right.
question. So I think
Right.
dedicating these podcasts to a single question will hopefully help them, and that way they can say, I got it,
Mm-hmm.
But the next one I want you to think about, if you will allow me to share the question,
Sure.
is on the theme of happiness. How do I stay in that zone when riding that happiness feeling? I sometimes bring myself out of it with negative thoughts. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's exactly what they said. When I saw that one, I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, guilty. you know,
Right. Is
guilty
that the
of
one we're
that.
going to address next time?
Yes, sir.
Or
Yeah, we're going to get that one next time
now,
because
that's a beautiful. Say the question one more time.
absolutely. On the theme of happiness, how do I stay in that zone when riding that happiness feeling? I sometimes bring myself out of it with negative thoughts. Man, I'm telling you, I was like, yes, we will
Yeah.
absolutely answer that question for you.
Yeah. They must have been hanging around me because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
gave an example in one of our podcasts of being at lunch with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we having a beautiful lunch. Everything's going well. I think of something. I ruin lunch. The
Yes.
meal is there.
Yeah.
The food is good. The atmosphere is good. I got everything I need. Some thought came in my mind. I ruined everything.
Not even related to
Well,
that moment.
no. And all of a sudden, I went from euphoria to, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then my friend that women go, what's wrong? Did I do something? Did I say something?
Mm-hmm.
And I got to make up some. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. But my face says you ain't fine.
Yeah, exactly.
You are not fine. You or something's wrong with you.
Exactly.
And to the commenters, to the person's question, how did I allow a thought to ruin a perfect moment?
I like it. I like it.
That's the question.
It is.
So we'll address that one next time. And one thing I'll say about this as we close on the universe, uh, the universe is not negative or positive.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you back what you give out.
Yes. Yes.
So if you want to attract positive things, give out positive things.
Yep.
If you want to receive positive things, put out positive things.
Sir, it's like you've
You
already.
want
I think you're stealing from my notes over here. I'm gonna need you to quit coming over here taking my notes.
Unfortunately, we're in two different parts of the town, so
Right.
right,
Yeah, you're preaching it. That's exactly. I agree,
right.
1,000%.
So if you want to get positive things back, see positive things, put out positive things.
Yep. Yep.
If you want to get good consequences back, set yourself up for good consequences.
Agreed.
Make some goals, make some changes. For example, if you want to, if you want to get a car, you need a car, right? And you know you need a car. So the consequences is I want to get a car. That's what I need. You have to start doing the things, putting the things in mind. First of all, I have to make in mind I need a car, and then you start planning what can I do to get a car. Okay, and you have to be ready to make a few steps. For example, like if you want a car, you know what kind of car you want, and you need. So I need a $500 down payment. Okay, you be realistic with that. You grew up and think about it, right?
Hmm.
So you say I need a $500 down payment. Cool, I know what I want. I need the down payment. And the boss comes to you and say, hey, we got overtime this weekend. You want to work Saturday?
Hmm.
You said no, I don't.
Well, there was your universe opening the door, and there was you shutting it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the universe open the door, and you say, and I don't feel like working this weekend.
Exactly. We do that
And then
all
you
the
come
time.
back on Mondays, and you come back on Monday and say, I really need that car, but I got $500.
Hmm. Hmm. And then
And the
on the flip
universe,
side of that, your coworker who went in during that time put in for a cruise, and you're like, ugh. How did you get how are you getting to take a cruise? Like, well,
yeah, and you heard them talk about, that's a very good example to put that up. You hear them say, I worked the last 4 weekends. Me and my wife bought a ticket for our cruise. We've been wanting to go on for a year.
Hmm. Yeah.
And you say, really? You're going on a cruise?
Hmm.
I can't even get my down payment on the car.
Right.
But you're not realistic on what you're doing, what you
Right.
can do.
Exactly.
Right? All right, that should sum it up this time, Raven. As always, it's been a pleasure talking. Hopefully, the listeners will, get something positive out of this. And if they want to send us some comments or some questions, suggestions, whatever, we're open for that.
Absolutely.
But I'm gonna turn over to Raven, let him close it up till next time. Okay, I'll turn over to you, Raven.
I have nothing to say because this man beautifully said it. No, seriously, Pops, good stuff, man. I always appreciate you sharing it. And like he said, comments below if you want to. At the beginning of this video, you have a email. You can send your thoughts, feedback, questions to, and we will gladly answer them. They're all private. We don't put
Yeah.
your name out there unless you just specifically want to be put out there. But just so you know,
Right.
this is a place we're all pursuing happiness. We either pursued it, we've obtained it, or like you, if you're trying to get it, we're trying to help you get there because we know how this world can operate.
If Raven and I accomplish one thing with this podcast, that is, if you tell us that you're laughing more than you used to, that'll be fantastic for us.
Right. Next time we will touch on that question, and I expect you not to steal from my notes.
All right, good sir.
Have a good one, my friend.